Yeah, so Gary with two R's. Bro, if you're watching, let us know. So he's mostly from the Making Hip Hop Reddit, and I think, and correct me if I'm wrong, Gary, I think he's been making a song every day for the whole year, and so he's already pumped
Oh,
out
right.
like over 150, something like that. It's like ridiculous. So I
Yeah,
mean,
that's
man's on
crazy.
a grind. I'm sure that his sound is developed like mad. I think these are all finished releases too. Um, but yeah, one of his songs that we'll be listening to today is called "I Get It." It's finished released. The project description says just some grimy pimp shit. So that's how it is. Gary with two R's. Follow him on socials, stuff like that. But yeah, are you ready? Do you have it pulled up?
Holy shit, he gave us all the links. All right, I'm gonna do YouTube here because maybe there's something visual. Maybe there's probably not, but I don't know. Let's find out.
Yeah, I don't think there is. Yeah, the link I got was just YouTube.
It's got
Cool, you
artwork,
ready?
but all right, we're here. Yep, I'm ready.
All right, Gary with two R's. Three, two, one.
Check a check, ho. I break a neck for respect, ho. You ain't got yokes, better egg roll. Yo, I got fam asking me if I sold my soul. I told them no, but that bitch on hold, and I ain't selling to the devil. He ain't better than enough. If you think that shit wild, I'm just revving it up. Your pastor probably take dick, and you're
What?
revving a slut. Went to church, had to preach a daughter begging to fuck. Just trying to make an ex-man jealous as fuck. Worst pussy I ever had from a heavenly hutch. I still got one hell of a nut,
Whoa.
but that was back in my square days, still being fair days. I hit a hole right down the fairway and put a hole in one. You wanna roll with me, little bitch, I'm holding some. If you ain't got the bag, you best be close to one. I don't need all the girls, just the golden ones. Betty White, and if you had hustle like her, you be a chosen one. Yeah, I get it. I make money talk, so you know I get it. I get it. Fuck your boyfriend, I'm the man right here, bitch. I get it. If they don't get it now, then they gon' get it later. Walk up in this bitch like hi to the haters. Then I show out, nigga die, see you later. See, niggas don't get it and they blame it on their parents cause they feeling too embarrassed to take a little blame. But let me break down that part of the game where it clearly explains that you're getting out your lane. You off-road and that ain't your terrain. You a man of the flatlands. I'm Brad Band, but my back plane is Batman. And I might just cap you for fun with my grappling gun. I was raised in a place where racing didn't phase us. It was paradise, it was very nice. 1993, via Long Beach. Still keeping my Cali family in arm's reach. I'm a rich sand, born to be a rich man. And a steed too, watch how I steer through. Too many horses, whore, you in my rear view. If it ain't means, then that means anything we can do. I get it. I made money talk, so you know I get it. I get it. Fuck your boyfriend, I'm the man right here, bitch. I get it. If they don't get it now, then they gon' get it later. Walk up in this bitch like hi to the haters. Then I show out, nigga die, see you later.
Wow, wow.
There's that
What
wub.
bass?
Yeah.
Excuse me. Oh man, that was
Woo!
Gary with two R's. As you can tell
Wow.
by my coughing, that was pretty sick. But
Added some special effects there.
yeah, dude, I get it. I get it. I'm trying to
Shit.
think of the remnants of artists that I'm thinking about. In the beginning, I
Hmm.
was like, he kind of has like an old Drake kind of flow.
Yeah.
Um, but then something else, I can't think of who. But yeah, he definitely has like a kind of old school flow to it. Some weird bars here and there,
Yeah.
off the wall,
Yeah.
talking
Definitely.
about what is it like having sexual relations with a preacher's daughter or something. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy
There's some.
stuff. Uh,
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it was like from a first impression standpoint, it was pretty solid everywhere around. I could hear
Yeah.
most of what he was saying. I don't know what the clear message of the song was, but beat was cool. He sounded confident as a vocalist. What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I mean, I think it's pretty obvious the level of overall professionalism. Like, I would believe this guy makes songs every day.
Yeah.
And mostly for me, that comes from the production. Because, again, that's kind of the rarest thing I think that you
Mhm.
see is like something that's really polished and like the levels are right and things are clear and there's you know, a strong foundation in the bass and the drums and the vocals come through, right in the middle. That
Mhm.
stuff was really, really quite impressive.
Mhm.
I mean, in terms of the categories here, vibes. I would say like for what it is, like what you described is probably pretty accurate. I think it achieves what it's probably setting out to do. Although I did feel a little bit like maybe I didn't get quite as much of a story or meaning from it as I would like to. Like it sounded really good, but it didn't really sound like it was going a whole lot of places. Like the
Would you say that
overall,
you don't get it?
yeah,
Yeah, I
it,
share. I share the same thing. Keep
yeah. I
going.
mean, it's cool. I don't really know. I don't know. It sort of felt like the vibe was similar throughout the whole thing, and I didn't really get it. And that
Yeah,
might just be personal. Like if it was more my area, maybe I would like it more. And I'm not saying I don't like it. It's just like feels really well constructed, but maybe a little bit hollow. Like I would like to
mhm,
hear a little bit more personality in it that kind of shines through. Although those weird lines sort of accomplish some of that, but again, it's like what exactly is going on here?
yeah.
Maybe listening to it again would just be the answer, right? Then maybe you do get it. But
Mhm,
from a first impression standpoint, that's where I'm at. So vibes, I would give it a very close to good to go because it's like, it's good, but
mhm.
just for me personally, it's not perfect. I would say.
Oh yeah, I
Um,
think this is what we call a freestyle. Not really in the sense of like going off the top of your head and improvising, but just like rapping about whatever the fuck you want to rap about. He's just kind of
yeah,
talking his shit. Um, I don't know, Gary, if I'm right about this, but I would say that you probably like freestyled and then like tried to write raps and whatever, make it as fast as possible because you're doing it in a day. And then you talked about selling yourself to the devil or whatever, blah blah blah. How you're not doing that, and then came in the album art. Like that's just the way that I can see your creative process. You're like, oh, this is what I wrote about in this song that I try to make in a day, and then I'm just gonna make an album art that goes with it. So I think it shows, the like Josh said, the professionalism, the sound, your confidence. Like it shows that you really are putting in a lot of work and time into it. But I think, as Josh said, the consequence of doing that every day and trying to push yourself is that sometimes some of the projects are just going to be hollow. And
yeah,
that's cool for some of the stuff that, like for freestyles, everybody has a freestyle that they just want to talk shit about. Um, I share a lot of the same sentiments. So I think vibe overall, I think it's a green. Um, Content, I don't know, it's in between yellow and green for me, but because really, like freestyles exist for a reason. Sometimes you just want to blast this on, and this could be like a party song,
yeah,
just bumping in the background. It has an up tempo beat, confident delivery, sounds professional. So, um, yeah. Uh,
yeah.
what do you think, Josh?
I mean, to your points there too. I think it's if it is the case that this is one of his like once one everyday songs,
Mm,
it's a good showcase that like his skills are extremely professional, right? Like
mm,
he's able to very quickly put together a really professional sounding track if that's the case. But it is also like I could see that being really useful as like a personal boot camp to like get
yeah,
really good at some skill set, and it seems like he's already kind of done that. But there are some things that I don't think are quite as easy to rush. Maybe it's just that the lyricism and the songwriting are the part that need more work than mixing and production at this point. So
yeah,
maybe it would be useful to focus on those a little bit more. But it
yeah,
could also just be that those things take sometimes a little bit longer to really like figure out what you want to say. And I would imagine that writing something every day, you might run out of like, full pictures to paint. Like it might be a little bit difficult to have something interesting to write every single day, even if you can produce music that's interesting every day. So
yeah,
it might just be a case for like, hey, you've got the skills. Like if you make something, like make a piece of art, right? Like slow down for a minute and think about, do I want to, what kind of project do I want to make? Like maybe I just want to make 3 really good singles in the next 3 months or something, and let yourself take a little bit more time to really nail the details. Or maybe you want to make an album and like, put a bunch of detail. But I think at this point, I don't know if rushing yourself is necessarily going to provide more benefit. It can, for at the beginning, but I think at some point you want to zone in and make something special if you can.
for sure.
Um,
Yeah, I think exactly what you said. It's a personal boot camp for him, probably. He's probably just trying
yeah,
to get really good at what he does, and I think it's showing.
yeah,
Um,
no,
yeah,
definitely, it's super
so,
cool.
mhm.
Then I think content we sort of talked about a little bit. I would just say
Okay.
like I don't know, it's a super good production. Maybe feels a little bit hollow. So
Yeah,
I'd give it
and
a
like arrangement of the beat too. It's like flat, right? Like there's
yeah.
no really big movements.
I'd probably give it a closer to a yellow develop in that
Cool.
category.
Yellow
Um,
Davila.
And then production was the one that was
Green, solid. Uh-oh, you're lagging for
sound
me, bro.
polished. It's something you don't see in the more amateur stuff.
Yep.
I don't really have many tips for that. Although the wub sound at the end, I thought was a little bit like, either a little bit dry or kind of detracted a little bit for me. Maybe like it's sort of fun, but
Yeah.
there was something about it that sounded a little bit thin, maybe, or like I wish there was something else to fill in that space that was a little bit more interesting. I think that
Yeah.
might be what it is.
I thought it was fun.
So
Maybe
I
a
would
little
give
bit
it a
goofy
green.
sounding, but yeah.
Yeah, I would give it a green in production. But what would you say?
Yeah, I think it's a green in production too. It's super solid.
Yeah.
Yeah, Gary, let us know if you produce this stuff too. Like I said, every time I go into that feedback thread, you're always there, posting up
Yeah.
music. So it's super dope. Keep doing what you're doing. That's super sick. For me, I think
Yeah.
it's between mostly towards a green because I think there's a lane for this, but maybe it's not my cup of tea. But yeah, I think it's green, good to go. What do you think for the overall judge?
Yeah, I'd say the same. I think it's just about there, like good to go, like radio ready. But for my personal taste, maybe for both of ours, there's it's not quite a top tier track. There's a little bit of work to do on like making it feel like a more special or cohesive or unique song or something like that.
Yeah, man. Just like, I mean, I'm a big fan of Kanye, but not every single Kanye song is going to be a top tier. You know what
Yeah,
I'm saying?
yeah, exactly.
So,
Dope. All
good
right,
shit.
thanks, Gary. Keep sending us shit because goddamn, that was quite impressive.
Yeah, dude. I do want to see like what happens when you sit down and take like a week
Yeah.
or who knows, a month to make a song. It'd be crazy.
Insane.